Namaste, welcome, and aloha. Welcome to the verse titled Suta Goswami's Qualifications, the Marks of a True Teacher. The sages have approached Suta Goswami with humility and respect. They are ready to ask their questions, but before they ask, they do something significant. They acknowledge Suta's qualifications, titled Suta Goswami's Qualifications. This verse reveals what makes someone truly qualified to teach spiritual knowledge. This is not just about Sutta, this is about what we should look for in any teacher. Let us explore the marks of authentic spiritual authority. First, the verse in its original Sanskrit. Sut janasi badram te bhagwan satvatam patiha devakyam vasudevasya jato yasya chikirshya. These words acknowledge Suta's knowledge and wish him well. Let us understand what they reveal. Now let us go through the raw form of English translation of the verse. The translation. O Suta, all good fortune be yours. We know that the Supreme Lord, the protector of the devotees, appeared as the son of Vasudeva and Devakī. We ask you to tell us what purpose he sought to fulfill by that appearance. Simple words, but they reveal the sage's recognition of Suta's qualifications. Let us explore what makes him qualified. Now, let us look at some core teaching of this verse. This verse teaches us about the qualifications of a genuine spiritual teacher. The sages address Suta with Bhadrati, all good fortune be yours. This is not just politeness, this is recognition that Suta is free from vice, free from envy, free from selfish motivation. A true teacher must first be a good person. Character matters. Then they say, Janas, you know. Suta has knowledge, he has studied the scriptures, he has learned from qualified teachers, he knows the subject matter. But knowledge alone is not enough. And the sages also recognize that Suta has received proper guidance. He learned from Vyasadeva himself, the compiler of the Vedas. He didn't make it up, he didn't invent his own philosophy, he received knowledge through disciplic succession. And finally, the sages recognize that Suta has the ability to explain. He doesn't just know, he can teach, he can articulate, he can make the profound accessible. This is the teaching. A true spiritual teacher has four qualifications: good character, scriptural knowledge, proper guidance received, and ability to explain. These four qualities together make someone truly qualified to teach. Without good character, knowledge becomes dangerous. Without scriptural knowledge, teaching becomes speculation. Without proper guidance, understanding becomes distorted. Without ability to explain, knowledge remains locked away. All four are necessary. Now let us look at some modern scientific parallels. This ancient wisdom is validated by modern research on expertise and teaching. First, consider the research of psychologist Anders Ericsson on expertise. Ericsson showed that true expertise requires not just practice, but deliberate practice with feedback from qualified mentors. You can't become an expert in isolation. You need guidance, you need correction, you need a teacher. Suta received guidance from Vyasadeva. He didn't self teach. Second, consider the concept of pedagogical content knowledge in education research. This is the idea that effective teachers need two things: deep knowledge of the subject and knowledge of how to teach it. Knowing something and being able to teach it are two different skills. Suta had both. He knew the scriptures and he could explain them. Third, consider research on integrity and credibility. Studies show that people learn best from teachers whose character aligns with their teaching. If a teacher teaches one thing but lives another, students lose trust and learning suffers. The sages recognize Suta's integrity. Bhadrate, all good fortune be yours. His character, matched his knowledge. This. Let us now move on to some practical application as it relates to this verse. How do we apply this teaching in our lives? First, seek teachers who have both knowledge and realization. Don't just look for impressive credentials or eloquent speech. Look for someone who embodies what they teach. Do they live the principles? Do they demonstrate the qualities they're teaching? Second, verify the source of their knowledge. Did they learn from qualified teachers or did they make it up themselves? Authentic knowledge comes through disciplic succession, not personal inventions. Third, don't just accumulate information, integrate and embody it. If you want to teach others someday, you must first live what you learn. Knowledge without realization is just data. Wisdom is lived knowledge. Fourth, develop your ability to articulate your understanding. If you can't explain something clearly, you don't fully understand it yet. Practice explaining concepts. Teach others. This deepens your own understanding. And finally, be discerning about who you learn from. Not everyone who claims to be a teacher is qualified. Look for these four qualities: good character, scriptural knowledge, proper guidance received, and ability to explain. These are the marks of authentic spiritual authority. Now, let us look at how this verse can help our young people. For young people, here's a modern way to understand this verse. Think about the best YouTube educators or online teachers. What makes them great? They deeply understand their subject, they've learned from the best, and they know how to explain complex ideas in engaging, accessible ways. They don't just read from a textbook, they've mastered the material and can present it creatively. This verse teaches you to seek the same qualities in spiritual teachers. Don't just follow someone because they're popular or charismatic. Look for knowledge, proper training, good character, and ability to communicate. In the age of the internet, anyone can claim to be a teacher. Be discerning, look for these four qualifications. Now, let us look at how this verse can help our older generation folks. For those with more life experience, this verse speaks to something you've learned over the years. True wisdom comes not just from knowing, but from living the principles. You probably met people who talk beautifully about spiritual topics but don't live accordingly. And you've met people who may not be eloquent but whose lives radiate the truth they've realized. At this stage of life, you have the opportunity to become the kind of teacher the sages describe as. You have knowledge accumulated over decades. You've received guidance from your own teachers, you've lived the principles, now develop the ability to guide others based on that lived experience. Share your wisdom, mentor younger people, become the kind of teacher you wish you had when you were young. Embody the four qualifications: good character, knowledge, proper guidance received, and ability to explain. In conclusion, we can say this verse of the Srimad Bhagavatam reveals the qualifications of a true spiritual teacher: good character, scriptural knowledge, proper guidance received, ability to explain. These four qualities make someone truly qualified to teach. As we continue through the Bhagavatam, we're learning from Suta Gosvami, someone who embodies all four, and we're invited to develop these same qualities in ourselves. Not just to accumulate knowledge, but to embody it, live it, and share it with others. Thank you for exploring this with me. Thank you, Namaste, and Mahalo for joining me in this exploration of this verse. Suta Goswami's Qualifications, the marks of a true teacher. Now we will move on to the next verse.